Imagine for a second that you never had to make the conscious choice to save money ever again. It sounds like a dream, right? But what if it just happened? What if, while you were sleeping, working, or even out having dinner with friends, your wealth was growing quietly in the background without you having to lift a single finger? This isn't some high-level financial magic reserved for the elite. It is actually the exact strategy that many of the world's most successful yet quiet millionaires use to build their fortunes. They have mastered a concept we like to call stealth wealth. It is not about the flashy cars or the designer watches that scream for attention. Instead, it is about building a massive financial engine that runs on autopilot, completely out of sight and out of mind. Welcome to Millionaire Thoughts, where today we are going to pull back the curtain on how you can design a life where building wealth is no longer a struggle of willpower, but a natural result of the systems you put in place. If you are ready to stop fighting with your bank account and start winning the long game, make sure you stick around because we are breaking down the exact steps to automate your way to freedom. And hey, if you find this helpful, don't forget to join our community by hitting that subscribe button and giving this video a like. It really helps us reach more people who are looking for these same answers. The real secret to making money without thinking about it is actually quite simple: automation. Specifically, we're talking about automated transfers that move your money before you even get a chance to see it, let alone spend it. Think about it. Most of us rely on willpower to save. We tell ourselves that at the end of the month, whatever is left over will go into savings. But let's be honest, how often is there actually anything left over? Life has a funny way of finding things for us to buy. Maybe it's a sudden car repair, a friend's birthday dinner, or just that late-night impulse purchase online. By the time the end of the month rolls around, that extra money has vanished. This is why willpower is a terrible foundation for a financial plan. Willpower is a limited resource. It gets exhausted by the thousands of decisions we have to make every single day. Automation, on the other hand, never gets tired. It doesn't have bad days, and it doesn't get tempted by a sale at the mall. It just does what it's told every single time without fail. Designing a system that makes the right choice for you automatically is the ultimate financial cheat code. Most people don't fail because they don't want to save. They fail because the friction of making that choice every month is too high. When you have to manually log into your bank and move money, you are giving yourself a chance to say, "Not this time." You are giving yourself an opportunity to negotiate with your future self. And usually your present self, the one that wants that new gadget or that fancy meal, wins the argument. But when you automate, the argument never even happens. The money is gone before you can even think about spending it. It's like a tax you pay to your future self, but instead of going to the government, it's going directly into your freedom fund. Setting up these automatic transfers is surprisingly straightforward, yet it's one of the most powerful things you can do for your finances. You can usually do this right through your bank's app or your employer's payroll system. The goal is to have a portion of your income moved to a separate savings or investment account the very moment your paycheck hits. If you never see that money in your checking account, you won't miss it. It's the out of sight, out of mind principle in action. You adjust your lifestyle to whatever is left in your main account, and your savings grow silently in the dark. Let's look at a real-world example. Consider Sarah, a dedicated nurse who decided she was tired of living paycheck to paycheck. She didn't get a massive raise or win the lottery. She simply set up an automatic transfer of $100 from every biweekly paycheck into a separate brokerage account. At first, she was worried she'd feel the pinch, but within 2 months, she didn't even notice the difference. She just learned to live on slightly less. Fast forward a few years, and Sarah has a 5-figure portfolio that she barely remembers starting. She often jokes that she's forgotten her login password because she never needs to check it. That is the beauty of the system. It removes the emotional friction of saving. You aren't losing money, you are just moving it to a place where it can work for you. But automation isn't just for your savings account. To truly build wealth, you need to automate your investments as well.
Many modern platforms allow you to set up recurring purchases of low-cost index funds. This means that every time your automated transfer hits your investment account, it's immediately used to buy a tiny slice of hundreds of different companies. You are essentially buying the entire market. This is a strategy used by some of the most successful investors in history, including people like Warren Buffett, who has long advocated for the power of simple index fund investing for the average person. You don't need to be a stock market genius or spend hours staring at charts. You just need to be consistent. Imagine if you had started investing just $30 a week into a broad market index fund 10 years ago. Even with all the market crashes and economic uncertainty we've seen, that small, consistent contribution would have grown into a significant sum today. We are talking about tens of thousands of dollars, most of which would be pure profit from the growth of the market. And the best part? You wouldn't have had to do anything other than set up that initial transfer. This is how the wealthy stay wealthy. They don't gamble on the latest hot stock. They build systems that capture the steady growth of the global economy over time. Why does this work so effectively? It's because it aligns with how our brains are actually wired. As humans, we are naturally prone to loss aversion. We feel the pain of losing $100 much more than we feel the joy of gaining $100. When we manually move money into savings, our brains interpret it as a loss of spending power. It feels like we are depriving ourselves. But when the money is moved automatically before we even see it, that psychological pain is bypassed. We never had the money to begin with, so we don't feel like we're losing anything. We just adapt. It's a simple psychological trick that has profound long-term consequences. Every single transfer, no matter how small it might seem at the time, is a brick in the wall of your financial fortress. Over time, those bricks add up. You start to see progress, and that progress becomes its own motivation. But you don't have to rely on that motivation to keep going because the system is already doing the work for you. You aren't stressing about whether you can afford to save this month. The system has already decided that for you. It makes your financial success inevitable. However, there is a silent predator that can destroy even the best automated system. It's something that happens to almost everyone as they start to earn more money, and if you aren't careful, it will eat your future before you even realize it's happening. We are talking about lifestyle creep. It's that subtle, almost invisible process where your expenses rise to meet your income. You get a raise and suddenly you need a better car. You get a bonus and suddenly your old apartment doesn't feel good enough anymore. Before you know it, you're earning twice as much as you were 5 years ago, but you are still living paycheck to paycheck. Lifestyle creep is dangerous because it feels earned. You tell yourself, I work hard, I deserve this. And while that might be true, the problem is that every time you increase your baseline spending, you are making it harder to ever reach true financial independence. You are essentially running faster on a treadmill that is also speeding up. You are working harder, but you aren't actually getting anywhere. Take the story of a guy named Mark. Mark was a talented software engineer who saw his salary double over the course of 4 years. But instead of seeing his net worth explode, Mark found himself more stressed than ever. He had traded his reliable sedan for a high-end luxury SUV with a massive monthly payment. He moved from a comfortable studio into a luxury high-rise. He started eating at expensive restaurants every night. Despite his high income, Mark had zero savings. He was one bad month away from total financial collapse. His lifestyle had expanded so quickly that it had swallowed every extra dollar he earned. He was rich in appearance, but poor in reality. To break this cycle, you have to be intentional. You have to decide that your freedom is more important than your status. This is where one of our favorite hacks comes in, the lifestyle freeze. The idea is simple. Every time you get a raise or a bonus, you commit to living on your old income for at least 1 full year. You take 100% of that new money and you funnel it directly into your automated investment system. Think about the power of that. If you get a $5,000 raise and you immediately start spending it, it's gone forever. But if you invest that $5,000, it starts earning interest, and that interest starts earning interest. Over 20 or 30 years, that one single raise could turn into $50,000 or even $100,000. By freezing your lifestyle, you are giving your money a chance to grow before you let it work for your comfort. It's not about living like a monk forever. It's about delaying gratification just long enough to build a foundation that can support a much better lifestyle later on, one that is paid for by your investments, not your labor.
Of your financial future, let us know in the comments. What is the one thing you are going to automate today? We love hearing your stories and your goals. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to Millionaire Thoughts for more strategies on how to build a life of freedom and security. We are here to help you navigate the path to wealth, one step at a time. Remember, the best time to start was years ago, but the next best time is right now. Pay your future self first and watch as your life transforms. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.